Remembrance Week celebration climaxes with laying of wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier in Calabar. Construction of rural roads received boosts as communities along Mfom, Okpoma Okuku, Abocheche and Ogudu Ranch dual carriageway project showers encomiums on Governor Ayade. Plus, vehicle inspection unit of the Department of Public Transportation trains personnel on ICT and persuasive law enforcement. Details in just a moment. Good evening, it's nice to have you on NT News at 7. I am Paul Abel. Now the news in details. The 2022 Armed Forces Remembrance Week celebration has climaxed with the laying of wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. The public ceremony, which took place at the Millennium Park Center of Calabar, is in honor of Nigerian fallen heroes who fought in the First and Second World Wars and those who died in the course of protecting the integrity of Nigeria while on duty. Erika Evie was there and completes the report.
Wreath laying is an integral part of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration, which traditionally allow various service commanders, the governor, chief judge, speaker, among others, to pay their respect as a tribute to the unknown soldier.
Monies were raised by individuals, by government, and so on. So that is one way such monies put together, what we use to try to help the widows and the orphans.
When you work hard and you fight for your country, then your country stands by you. That is, for me, the greatest honor a man can get in his lifetime.
Respondents say remembering the people that fought for the peace of Nigeria is a mark of great honor, hence the need for all to pray and support their families financially.
Life is very difficult with two persons, and so having one person there as a widow, as a woman, being faced with the challenges is always very difficult. And so we should always put them in our prayers, and whatever we plan to do with our families, we should always remember to take care of them.
It has been a successful one, and we thank God. We pray for those colleagues who are still at the war front.
A major high point at the occasion was the presentation of a brand new Toyota Hilux to a retired Army Warrant Officer Stephen Ekpe for his meritorious service to the country by Commander 13 Brigade, Major General Peter Mala, who represented the Chief of the Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya.
I really want to thank the Chief of Army Staff, which I respect so much, in the person of Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya. He's a man of his word. He's a man of integrity.
Lots of activities, which include parade, gunshot, as well as laying of wreath, spice of the occasion. The occasion attracted military personnel, religious clerics, traditional rulers, top government officials, as well as the civil society. In Calabar, Erika Evie, NTA News.
Construction of roads in rural areas play a significant role in transforming the socio-economic life of the people and serve as a base to bring holistic development to the area. Correspondent reports on the benefits of constructing the 148 kilometers from Okpoma, Okuku, Abocheche and Ogudu Ranch dual carriage road project, also known as the mini superhighway. One of the major determinants in the growth of any developing society is in infrastructure, and extending such to rural areas make it more attractive, since people here lack modern facilities usually found in city centers. Therefore, the people of Ogwaga, Uchibi, Mfom, Okuku, and other communities along the mini superhighway are expressing excitement over the state of construction of the 148 kilometers road being constructed by the Governor Ben Ayade administration.
This road was a bad road before, but since government have entered, we have a good road now. There is no problem on this road again.
The government has tried. We have to appreciate them because through the help of this road, there is no more death or any danger accident. We are here. We are enjoying the road. Everywhere we have street light everywhere. It helps to keep our bike to last long, and our bike will look neat and clean. No more dust, no more washing of bike every day.
During the rainy season, we can't cross to the market and buy things. But now, I believe that everything is going well. Even our crop now, we sell it well. Everything is moving. Now, no need, without going to market, you can sell your thing in the road.
This is a major road to southeastern states. So the value is very much for us of this road. So since it has been in deplorable condition, our economy has come down and we have not been having the best. So with the condition, and when it's completed, we know it's going to benefit us a lot. So we are happy that the road is going on.
Our machine don't used to spoil like before. Now before I go to mechanic, it takes me some time. This before I was just from house. You see my tire will have flat tire. Sometimes my mechanic will have the low fault. I will take it to the mechanic. But now government just help us to put the road in order. We can manage the road now proper. It's now good than before.
Before you cannot even ride bike and pass through this road freely. But now you can pass. The road is very smooth. All thanks to our governor, Ayade.
The Commissioner for Works comments on the road.
The mini superhighway which you intend to talk about is Mfom, Okoma, Okuku, Abochiche, Obudu and Obudu Ranch Road Project, which is a dual carriageway of 148 kilometers. That road project has been ongoing. About 70% completion is recorded. You can see the road dualized. What is left will be completed in the year 2022 by God's grace. And budgetary provision has been made for that purpose.
Other roads still under construction in the state are expected to be completed this year, 2022, before the exit of this administration. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News. Still talking about roads in an effort to enforce safer roads in Cross River State. The Vehicle Inspection Unit of the Department of Public Transportation says vehicles that are not roadworthy will be taken off the roads from January 30th, 2022. Director Road Traffic Officer Paul Bepe stated this during a one-day training for personnel on ICT technology and persuasive law enforcement. Achibong Basi reports.
Describing the theme of the workshop, Adapting ICT Technology and Persuasive Law Enforcement, a tool for safer roads and improve revenue generation in Cross River State as apt, the Executive Chairman, State Internal Revenue Generation, Akpanke Oga, commends the vehicle inspection officers who have been adjudged to have the most professional and finest personnel in the discharge of duty in Nigeria.
Yes, they're doing a fantastic job. Cross River is a big state, geographically. So I know the VIOs probably have a lot of challenges in mobility, staffing, training, which we observed, especially training, adapting technology and all that.
The Chief Vehicle Inspection Officer, Paul Bepe, while speaking on the need for persuasive enforcement for safer routes, also reiterates the need for data manifests.
Like you know, almost all the crimes committed are through the road, either through motorcycle, tricycle or vehicles. So it is now a concern to us as a department to ensure that those things are in place.
The department further disclosed plans to achieve a safer routes by improving its services through networking, through public orientation to properly sensitize road users on the do's and don'ts. In Calabar, Achibong Basi, NTA News.
Cross River State government says it has concluded plans to improve its strategy on tackling COVID-19 in 2022. The Commissioner for Health in the state, Dr. Betta Edu, stated this while speaking with Government House correspondents in Calabar. Our correspondent reports that the Commissioner threw more light on the issues of testing, quantity of vaccines received, among others.
First, there are several things that we must do. Number one, we must improve on surveillance. Right? We must actively search for cases because most people do not have the symptoms. Most people will have the symptoms but will not want to come forward because they don't want to be stigmatized. So we must improve on surveillance, sample collections. We must be able to also get people who are infected, treated or properly isolated. And beyond that, we must be able to increase our vaccine coverage as a state. We are doing very well. We have consistently been amongst the first 6 states in Nigeria as it concerns vaccine performance. At some point, we were topping the nation. We must continue to push this. That way, we'll be able to overcome the Omicron or any other variant that might come out from this whole COVID pandemic. And we are calling on more people to come out to get tested. The more we test, the more the surveillance, the more the contact tracing, the better it is for us to break that transmission spread in the state. Apart from that, for vaccines, we have received several doses of vaccines. Over 300,000 doses of vaccines have been brought to Cross River State, and we have been able to vaccinate our people across board. We are working with the religious group. We are working with the traditional rulers. We are working with very key stakeholders, even political leaders, to ensure that vaccination goes to the hinterlands in Cross River State. Beyond this, we brought about the integrated form of vaccination. So we're not just giving out COVID-19 vaccines, we're putting it alongside polio vaccine and other vaccines that can be taken. So when our health workers go out for outreaches, go through people's compounds, you give the child the polio and other vaccines that that child needs, and then you give the caregiver and every adult above 18 in that same compound, in that same community, the COVID-19 vaccines.
Ebonyi State Police Command has recorded another feat in the fight against crime with the rescue of 32 children from traffickers in the state. Ijoma Peter Uwante reports that the State Commissioner of Police, Aliyu Garba, while briefing the press on the development, called on parents to always be watchful and pay keen interest on the whereabouts of their children and wards.
Briefing the press on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, Aliyu Garba, the Police Public Relations Officer, Lovett Oda, said the command rescued 32 underaged children who were trafficked from different parts of the country for forced labor and sexual exploitation. She said in the course of investigating the whereabouts of one Miss Chidera Wankwo, whose case was reported by the mother, useful statement was made to the police, and that led to the rescue of 32 children by operatives from a hideout at Oposi Umohara. The children, who are between the ages of 15 to 17, were discovered to be indigenes of Ebonyi, Enugu, Anambra, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Benue, Abia, and Rivers states.
Because we are going to further investigation to Imo State, where Chidera had confirmed that there are more than 20 girls in an apartment that look like a hall, and up to like 18 boys also there doing the same business in the name of networking, hawking around with products.
One of the rescued victims narrates her ordeal.
One of their directors collected my phone and switched it off, telling me that she don't want my to trace me, that if they trace me, that they will not allow me to do the work. So she collected that phone. I now travel with them. It's just as I travel with them, then when I reach, they introduce some of their company products to me and explain to me how I'll be selling it. So after, like early in the morning, we come out and attend training. After that training, around 1, we start going and walking around the city to sell the product.
The suspect, who works with a private company in Ebonyi State, denied his involvement in the crime.
My own personal team, the team I belong into, I don't accept the underage students. If I discover they are less than 18 years, I will send them back.
To this end, the State Commissioner of Police has called on parents whose children are missing to report to the police headquarters for identification and possible claim of their wards. In Abakaliki, Ijoma Peter Wante, NTA News.
You're watching NTA News, reaching you live from our studios in Calabar. Don't forget, you can equally watch this newscast on our YouTube channel, YouTube/NTA Calabar. We have more stories for you, but immediately after this break. Stay tuned. It's good to have you back on the news. We begin this second segment on ICT and agricultural matters. The federal government has so far trained and empowered 10,000 women and youths in ICT and modern agricultural practices across the federation, addressing 80 beneficiaries of a 5-day training ICT and modern agricultural practices for female farmers in the South-South. Director General, National Center for Women Development, Dr. Asabe Bashir, says government's goal of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years is on course. Clement Barikwi reports.
Before now, farmers depend largely on support services from agricultural extension workers to improve their farming activities. But today, the story has changed. From the small-scale to medium-scale farmers, it is possible to research into latest innovations in the agricultural sector, transfer information on farming from one point to another, and sell farm produce with ease, or from the comfort of your home, thanks to information and communication technology.
Before now, I've been conversant with ICT, but not with agriculture. We were taught on how to use Excel, a spreadsheet.
With the theme, Engendering Agricultural Innovation through ICT, these 5 days of training exposed the women to various ways of information and communication technology that can help them improve on their agricultural practices and methods.
We will continue to monitor your progress and support your growth all year round. We have moved the agricultural sector now from the analog setting to the digital setting.
The 80 participants from various farmers' associations across the South-South were trained and empowered with laptops, while 40 widows received stipends to support their businesses. In Uyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
January, named after Janus, the Roman god of all beginnings, is the month of the new door, of the beginning of the new year with new things and possibilities. In all of these, the month is generally believed to start on a slow note for some people and due probably to poor preparations for January. Thus, many consider the month as the longest in any year. Why? Clement Bradley once again sought the opinions and answers of people.
If I'm sick, sincerely, because December period now we do a lot of festive activities like that. So I've spent a lot of money now. My enemy is broke.
National Youth Corps member Deborah is just one of the many Nigerians that may be feeling the January fever. After streams of merriment in the last month, January has the distinction of becoming the most packed month of the year, with a lot to look forward to and recover from. In the course of recovery from the December expenses comes school fees, renewal of house rents, and other expenditures that further increase the fever and fear of January. But in the face of all these, there are, however, some Nigerians who see January differently.
January fever can only catch those that are not prepared. Somebody like me, I've witnessed January for 30-something years now. So at least I know how to plan towards January.
It's what I think that will happen to me. Normal January, February, all are the same. Because God cannot change.
Sometimes the month people say that we have like 6 months in January alone because of the expenses that are made during the Christmas period and the season.
The month of January can be a month of blessing for you, that you have more money. It doesn't matter how long it is. What matters is how you are putting yourself to use.
It is wrong to some extent to say it is the longest month. Maybe it's a result of planlessness, or maybe as a result of so much demand put into the month.
Now that the Christmas and New Year fun moments are over, it is time to face business in January, and how long or short the month will appear in your mindset, according to respondents, depends on the level of commitment injected into one's job. In Uyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
And now to sports now, in remembrance of a then footballer in the state, a late Okun Basi Ekanem, an exercise tagged Marathon for Life has been undertaken from Ojukbani to Calabar. Correspondent Cecilia Julius reports that the exercise, which attracted over 50 participants, saw 3 persons emerging as champions.
Jogging is a form of trotting or running at a slow or leisure pace. But when running is beyond jogging to what may be tagged mini marathon, then rewarding participants becomes inevitable. That is why this marathon from Odukmani headquarters to Calabar is really rewarding, more so as competitors were appreciated. Organizers say the exercise is in honor and remembrance of one of their then footballer, Okon Basi Ekanem.
We have been doing this anniversary, but for marathon race, this is the first outing. I am believing God that by next year, it will be greater and more colorful than this, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Marathon race, part of the exercise, and as we individually must engage in ourselves for healthy living. But in this case, it's just in remembrance of one of our brothers who has been very committed in sporting activities, and so we want to encourage people to engage in sporting exercise for good, healthy living.
The main reason for the very competition is to organize the youth, make the youth come together, at least create awareness of exercise in this axis of Calabar municipality.
But what does this marathon mean to participants, especially those that won?
So glad for our home mother, my spirit, come and host a marathon like this, and we do the right thing for the youth and encourage us, encourage me, for me to move forward, for me to train more and more to become #1 in Nigeria.
So much thanks is the cabinet and everybody who can participate for the God give us the grace and the long lives to continue in the name of Jesus.
Participants agreed that the main intention of the marathon is to increase physical fitness with less stress on the body. In Odukbani, Cross River State, Cecilia Julius, NTA News.
Before we go, a quick look at some of the stories that made headlines. The 2022 Armed Forces Remembrance Celebration has climaxed with laying of wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier to honor Nigerian fallen heroes who lost their lives protecting the integrity of the country. The construction of the 148 kilometers from Okpoma Oku, Abochiche and Obudu Ranch dual carriage road known as Mini Superhighway has elicited encomiums from communities along the axis on Governor Ben Ayade. You also heard in the news that the vehicle inspection unit of the Department of Public Transportation has trained personnel on ICT and persuasive law enforcement and warned that vehicles not roadworthy will be taken off the roads from January 30th, 2022. That does it for the news tonight. On behalf of the entire crew, I am Paul Abel. Have a beautiful night rest. Good night.